the end of the first week of the exam period here at King's, and many students will have had their first assessment. So it's worthwhile just saying a few things about what to do and what not to do once you've sat an exam. In the old days, when we used to take our exams in large venues, I would always say to students, leave the exam paper in the exam hall. Both literally, you're often not allowed to take it outside with you, and figuratively, don't dwell on what you think you wrote or what you coulda, shoulda, woulda written if you'd known differently. Now, of course, with a take-home assessment, you will have a copy of the exam paper and you'll have a copy of what you wrote. So the point about not always knowing exactly what it is you wrote, the question won't apply, but you're still not necessarily in the fog of war best place to judge how that paper particularly went, and nothing good will come from dwelling on the substance of the law or the topics that you would have revised if you'd known what was on the exam. Also, please don't talk to your friends about how they found the exam in terms of the substance. No good will come of them saying, oh, did you see the secret point that was in question 4, whatever that may be. So please don't dwell on the substance of the law of tort, law of trust, contract, whatever your first paper was. But in terms of positive things to do, you can reflect on how you approached the exam and how it went structurally and tactically. So, especially if it's a relatively new format of take-home assessment or remote proctoring, whatever the format is, think about how you got it right or whether there are things you could have done differently in terms of approaching the exam. So did you spend too long on one question to the detriment of another? Did you leave yourself enough time to go back and check your work? Did you have your notes in the most useful format for tackling it? Because of course this is an initial exam under these conditions and you've got more to come. So you absolutely can reflect upon the right lessons from how you think the exam went, and it might be that you're perfectly happy with how you set things up, or it might be that you realize you need to put your notes into a slightly different format or to allow yourself a more focused, concentrated period of time to write the exam in the first place before coming back to it. So those are some things to do and some things not to do when it comes to reflecting on your first exam. Good luck for the remaining ones.